looking at you going, that's nice, but are we live or not?
You know, I feel like y'all are... that's the end of the sentence. I don't have more.
I feel like y'all are. Yeah.
Twitch just told me we're live.
Yeah. See? You get it. You get something telling you. It's just not always me.
Isn't your whole jam that you just like do it secretly and like don't tell anybody? Like, isn't that
if I wanted to do it secretly, I would just randomly like mute you all and then unmute you, and nobody would ever know. I mean, the captions would know. That would be problematic, but
the captions would know, and that would be problematic. They said.
Yes, I did. Hey everyone.
Oh hi.
Hello.
Let's play a game.
Thanks, Jigsaw. Let's do it.
You're very welcome.
Right then.
Michelle, tell us about you.
So I know you tweaked the overlay a little to add like pronouns to both character and player.
Yes.
Did you change like anything else about like the font or the?
No.
Move everything slightly to the left, maybe like a fourth of an inch.
Yes.
I don't know. It just looks like it pops more, and I don't know why. And maybe I'm just.
I literally did nothing else.
You
know, maybe they them just looks better on us, Jamie. that's just how it is.
I mean, that's legit.
That's fair. The pronoun looks
actually,
good
I'll tell you
on
what the
me.
difference is. It's that Danny has a really bright background in comparison to what she normally has, and I'm finding that visually brightens the whole screen up. Because I spend a minute just looking at it, trying to figure out why the screen looked brighter and what it is. If I sort of let my eyes defocus, I keep looking over towards Danny's window. So it's because she's got the really bright. No, it's cool. It's actually a good look. But yeah, but I think that's what's going on.
It occurs to me that it might also be because like I instead of wearing black, I'm wearing a blue shirt, and that makes it stand out more. I don't know.
That could actually be
You match the border of Meisel's character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Michelle, tell us about you.
Anyway.
Because ADHD will get us lost in this.
You're presuming it already hasn't.
I'm not letting it.
So, right then, about me. Well, 6 foot, 1.8 meters, right around 200 pounds, 91 kilos. Still trying to remember little details like what it was I was getting up for this morning. It turns out the answer I figured out by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon was to go to work. I figured that out.
I have yet to learn that, but sure.
Gosh, so yes, live streaming a couple times a week these days. I've been in a pretty good mood creatively, so I've been jamming on that. You can catch up with me over on my channel, 902PE Gaming. I'm also on Twitter as somewhere around there on the box. Yeah, exactly. Michelle V69. Remind me to tell you the funny story about that handle actually sometime. But
I think you've told me the story.
Yes, about the coworker. Yeah. So yeah, that's my Twitter handle. I'm alternately discussing gaming or Canadian politics, and sometimes being fairly loud and obnoxious about feminism and human rights. These are things I do. And then you can also catch up with me on Amazon because I'm a published author. 3 books currently available on Amazon. 2 of them part of a steampunk series, and the third being a dieselpunk series. So yeah. What else am I doing these days? Oh yes, $5 Dungeons. I'm getting my month number 2 of my Patreon. So I've got a couple people signed up. That's exciting stuff. So probably a live stream this week where I'm going to be doing the August installment of $5 Dungeons. I'm probably building a spaceship.
Ooh, fun.
Spaceship. Sam.
I was muted. Hi.
Hi. Tell me what you're doing with your life.
Oh.
Anything.
Whiling it away, flaming in the void. Not a huge amount. I'm once again in lockdown, so
Welcome
Yeah.
to
Joining other parts of the eastern coast of
my personal home.
Australia. But I mean, that's not a complaint. By the way, I'm very happy that the government decided to lock down as quickly as they did, rather than
Do the smart thing. Yeah.
hope, I guess.
Cross their fingers and do the opposite of.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about any countries in particular. No.
No. But it is a shame, but definitely something that should have been done. But other than that, I don't think I've got anything particularly new coming up. Sent a few auditions in that I haven't heard back from, but you know, it was both only recently and also you just don't.
Yep.
Although one website I've discovered actually does update you. It's like, oh, they're now looking at things. Oh, they're considering you. And I was just like, what? Oh.
Yeah, a couple of platforms are a bit better that way, but like even then, it's.
I don't imagine the third step of they're not going to be like, yeah, they did consider you, but no. It's like, all right. But that's always fun. Otherwise, been keen to find out what happens here.
I'm not. Jamie, tell me. How's your life? What's going on? Tell us stuff about you, please.
Oh, is my friend Chantel avoiding the subject?
No, absolutely not.
Typically.
Typically. How dare we come into your house?
You come into my house, into my ears that are not elven. That's one of the things I forgot.
That's what you forgot.
That's what I was like, I know I've forgotten something. I don't know what it is. Tell us about you, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm Jamie. You can find me on Twitter at Muffin Manifesto or on my website, jamie-collett.com. I'm a voice actor and director, and I'm busy ferreting away at a few different projects, none of which will be seeing much of the light of day because they're mostly internal, like training projects, but some really interesting ones at the moment. But more importantly, and what the fans really want to know about, is my current obsession with Olympic volleyball, which has just gone through the quarterfinal stages, and the semifinals, I believe, start today. Unfortunately, my two favorite teams, my favorite men's and women's team, both got knocked out in the quarterfinals. The Japan men's team are truly dynamic to watch, very, very exciting, and the Turkish women's team just had a whole lot of heart, but they got
didn't have as much.
They had a very close match against Korea, who are criminally underrated, to be fair. Korea are ranked like 14th in the world and Turkey were like 4th, but Korea were just on top of their game, and it was very impressive to watch. I can keep going, but
no. Thank you for that commentary, because I feel as though I've learned
just
more than I really intended.
Just in case you were wondering whether I was joking about being obsessed with Olympic volleyball.
I'm glad I know this.
Danny.
Yes?
Tell us about you.
I am Danny. I'm DT Cam Jansen on the Twitters. I do voice acting and game playing, mostly the game playing. It is what keeps me sane. My favorite sport at the Limpos is fencing. I did miss pretty much all of it, I'm pretty sure. The
hours have been atrocious.
I haven't turned on a single Limpo.
Neither have I.
But I love them. In theory.
Yeah.
Except for that one guy.
Yeah, except for that one guy.
It's making everybody look bad.
Making everybody feel bad too.
But the rest of the team, love y'all. And
should I know what you're referring to? Because
it's the Limpos boys. No, one of the members of men's
American
fencing team USA men's fencing is a creep and a predator. So
literally a predator, and
and
they've
known
got a
to
plan
be.
around keeping him away from people rather than just saying you can't play.
And rather than kicking him off the team, they're not doing the thing. So like all of the other members of the team are like
isolated,
doing solidarity type things as they stand beside this terrible person.
Yeah, they're wearing pink masks, for example, to protest the fact that this other guy's still on the team.
Yep.
Weird.
I have a lot of love and respect for a team. Usually have a lot of love and respect for Team USA's fencing team, which is about the only amount of pride for this country that I can ever really muster. But that one guy, not great.
So good morning to everyone except that guy.
Yeah.
Wait, where do we find you? Wait, we know that. What do you do?
Johnny made me this cool doobly-doo.
I did. You have to read it, though, because people on YouTube won't have it.
DT Cam Janson on the Twitter and the Instagram, and Detective Cam Janson on TikTok. So. And
where do we find your work? Please tell. Please do.
Mostly the whisperforge.org, where I make podcasts and stuff like that. But otherwise, you will be able to see me on this and other channels when I am playing games.
Yes.
Call me. I will play in your game. I like to play games.
Call me. Have your people call my people, and we will play games. Me. I keep typing my full name. My full name doesn't. Oh, it does. Wait. Why is it my full name? Sorry.
You set it up?
It's because of what your name is in your Google. That's why mine says what it says.
Oh no, not in the captions. I mean in stream. Like why is my it doesn't matter. I'm Chantel B. You find me on Twitter at Chantel B. You can find me around the world at Chantel B. I'm sure.
Not even sure what you're talking about.
I do a whole load of things on Twitter, and I have a link tree in that description. And sometimes I tweet videos of me trying to access the toaster that lives in my husband's studio. He took the toaster because he decided to make breakfast while he was writing a review for One Piece, and didn't return it and just left. And now every Monday he puts out a video reviewing the chapter of One Piece whilst making toast. And so he has breakfast on camera while he's reviewing. But the problem is that now the toaster lives in his studio and I cannot access it. So now I make my toast on the grill because I refuse point blank to buy another toaster.
Stretch goal to get Shawnee a toaster. Gosh damn.
I refuse.
Starting to go to get Shawnee a toaster.
It's a milestone level. It's a milestone level on our non-existent Patreon. Get Shawnee.
Yeah, get Shawnee a toaster, please.
No, I will not have one.
How can you tell me that you're a non-neurotypical theater couple without telling me you're a non-neurotypical theater couple?
Surely, what you do, you buy a new toaster. But your husband uses the new one, and the old one goes back to the kitchen, and it becomes a business expense.
No, if I buy a new toaster, it's my toaster. I don't think you understand.
Also, if Shawnee buys a new toaster, that means they've lost. And that's
see, my goal.
That's what marriage is about.
Because I've managed to get a few of his viewers to say, yeah, Liam, they have a problem with this. Maybe you should just return the toaster. I've had a few of them say, maybe you should just return the toaster. But more of them are going, no, this is hilarious. Let it happen.
So you're going to keep subtweeting on the internet until it makes its way back to him?
Oh, he's seen it. He retweeted.
Yeah, but you're talking about it on the stream now during your intro. So, I feel like you're just trying to widen the net of, I
mean, you trusted the internet to be on your side.
I did, because I'm adorable. And people go, oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry about your toast.
I definitely don't recommend you give us your husband's Twitter information that people can now...
At Grand Line Review? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mean at Grand Line Review?
Yeah, we shouldn't tell people to go to Grand Line Review and talk about toasters.
There are many more people that are going to be that watch his videos than watch
a picture of a new toaster every single day on his Twitter.
I'm different videos just uploaded every day, just me going, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry.
So
It
the
is
Monday
day
review-
35 of the toast famine.
Day 35. I have yet to taste bread.
Honestly, you should
Is
just
so
start
raw.
a show.
You should start a YouTube channel reviewing toast.
Reviewing toasters with like his review in the background of your reviews. Like,
You do a person reacts to YouTube video of the review, but it's only about the toaster.
oh look, there's the toaster. Oh look, there it is. I miss you. I miss the toaster.
I'm not saying I'm going to do this. I'm just saying I'm making a note. So yeah, my life is toastless right now. It's sad. We should play a game
So we can just
so we can be
not
scared
focus on you
and sadder.
being toastless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
I'll play the intro now.
Okay,
about
we'll
that?
play the intro.
Yeah. No more toast.
Bye.
We have returned. See?
Okay.
I can be
Bye.
professional.
I was thinking when you mentioned the fencing, a friend of mine was like 2 away from being on the Australian fencing team back in I think the Sydney Olympics.
Neat.
So this wasn't even something that he was like,
Sam,
I'm going to be doing this.
this is not
But
the time for this story.
Yes, it
it's a
is.
very quick story. He was like, this is pretty good. I like this. But because everyone was coming to Australia, obviously he could hang around and was helping with like sparring and training with both the men's and women's team. And he was like, wow, yeah, these people are great. And it's like, but that feeling of like, these people are great and I'm slightly beneath them. But like, not like completely outclassed, but like I could really, 4 years time, he was going, yeah. And then the Italian team arrived and they were like, hey, can you go help them spar? And he was like, yeah. And he went and sparred with some of the Italian team and went, yeah, no, we're not even remotely on this level. I can't. And he was just like entirely lost any thought of like pursuing. Like and it wasn't something he was just like, I'm pretty decent at this. And they were like, you should try. And he was like, yeah, all right. And then played against the Italian team and was like, oh no, that's what like competitive levels like. No, I'm not. We're not. We're going to do something else. And he was just like, yep.
Yeah, I was certified to teach Canada Games team by the time I was 12 years old. So I ran into the Hungarian men's saber team when I was 14. It was an emotionally scarring experience.
This is why I said now is not the time.
Yes.
Because we all like swords?
We all like swords and we all get distracted. So
that said, Danny, if you want to yak Sword Olympics, let me know. That's a favorite topic. Okay, so something crystal ball. Who's getting stared at down there, y'all?
I didn't enjoy
Wow.
Wait.
I
Sam.
That's a good previously on. But
Yeah, that's true.
I want to know what's happened in the meantime.
Yes, me also.
All right. So my soul is not the sort of person to hang out at gnomish steampunk camel raves. So instead,
I mean, there would have been a point where in his life where it'd been like, yeah, let's do this. As a 12-year-old,
that is not that time.
Like that, very much hitting that point on is very old, is also 12.
I mean, Spider will definitely let you drink if you want to drink.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard to tell the 1,000-year-old who's accompanied by a dragon that they're underage.
he probably has a drink. Like that's not the issue. It's just sort of like at some point he's just like, yeah, all right, party with the best of them, and this is fine. But whatever. But he also he has an interesting new thing he thinks he can do, and
he's got a phone call he wants to make as well.
Yeah, he it's not how he would refer to it, but he leveled up. He unlocked access to new abilities, which I can only imagine is something he's been idly toying with every now and again when he remembers. And it suddenly had that,
I used to be able to do this. Why isn't this working anymore?
that ADHD thing where you just can't do something, and then all of a sudden there's like a flash of inspiration, like, oh, right, that's how you do that. Hang on.
That's my entire experience with grade 12 calculus.
Possible right up until it clicks.
Passed with a D, 11 months later, could just do calculus.
That was me with all of the math that backs up statistics. Couldn't do it to save my life in high school. As soon as I got to like graduate level, I was like, oh no, this is really simple. Why have I struggled with this for my entire life?
Why was this ever a problem? It's obvious. Yeah.
Maths at uni for part of a term of a semester, and we're sitting there going, I don't understand why I'm getting this wrong. And I turned to the guy next to me and said, I don't understand how I got that thing wrong. And he said, well, you know how log 10 equals blah. And I closed my book and left. And I went, I know I don't, and I don't intend to.
No, I don't.
That was the end of my university maths experience. But Mysel is going to go back to his room, and he is going to attempt to locate Shagalza once again. So he sort of makes himself comfortable.
Okay.
And then focuses on finding her.
Okay.
Which is a 23 against resolve.
You rolled a 3 against her resolve?
23, sorry.
Okay, there we go.
It would not be impossible. It's not impossible to roll. Like 3 is legitimately the lowest I could have rolled. It would have been very difficult.
With such confidence, I was trying to figure out if that was Sam irony or not, or if I'd misheard you.
My experience with Shagalza suggests that she has terrible resolve. With the minimum is 10. Is that how this works?
No, she's up around. If I recall correctly, she's 16. She's in the 16-18 bracket. Yeah. I don't have her sheet open right now, but she's in the 16-18 bracket. It's just that you're consistent. I think the first time you tried, you rolled something like you rolled a 20-ish, and this is a 20-ish again. It's
D20 plus 2d10 with advantage, so it's like
So so you will be able to find her. She's apparently in your closet.
Good. That makes this easier. It means I don't have to make the second roll, I guess.
She can come out. Well, she can come out. She doesn't need to stay in the closet. Shagalza, come on out.
Yeah.
It's nice out here.
We're very accepting. You can. It's fine.
Just come on out.
Yeah. No. You actually. So you will wind up seeing her. Seated beside a campfire with a dozen other of her kind, various shapes and sizes. Slightly higher ratio of women than men, but instead of 6'6", it's something like a 7'5" kind of idea. Obviously, all walks of life kind of group. There's a modest sized fire burning with a modest sized hunk of some unfortunate animal that just wasn't fast enough today on a spit. and there's a couple of pots boiling away. They've all got some kind of a mug of a herbal tea on the go or something along that line. They're all sipping and chatting in their native language.
Which is not helpful, but also not why I'm here. So yeah, shrug.
Yeah.
I did for a moment, because we're going to attempt telepathy. And telepathy doesn't bypass language barriers.
Yeah.
So that's okay. She spoke trade tongue. But I was like, but I could just use the other thing. No, you can't. I can't have tongues and telepathy at the same time.
Right.
So I can't do the trick I did last time to
Yes.
So we're just going to have to stick with the trade tongue, and that's probably fine because or this will go terribly. This might be a terrible idea.
Yes.
Let's not rule out that possibility.
Do me a favor, make a perception roll.
Oh, sure.
She's standing behind you.
Here's my perception.
She's reading your thoughts. I'm ready for it to be something like that.
Like 3 people are also 3 of the other people are looking.
You're reading her mind in the future.
17.
So
17.
are you okay? So I just double check. Are you scrying or what are you? Or is it?
So we're using the spying bane.
Right. Okay. So it's the same mechanism. So yes. So the problem is the slightly older looking woman off to one side, who immediately lifts her heads up and starts looking around, who clearly has the resolve of 24. And is going, all right, I feel that. Where is it?
Does the astral projection version of a wave? Like with every essence of his being is just like, I'm not trying to be sneaky. That has the attitude of like actively not sneaking, I guess.
Yeah.
But like very purposely being like, I'm not here to hide. This is not. We're gonna have a chat. I can bring you in if you want. But hang on.
So they're obviously what's I think is most curious, you'll notice, is she does nothing to actually halt the conversation at the fire. It's just that it's that moment of that the head comes up and glances around, and someone obviously does the equivalent of, hey, what? Oh, it's nothing. And she's then kind of just glancing around the fire, trying to figure out if what she's feeling is here or up there somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Is this somebody hiding behind a tent, or is this someone spying? So yeah.
Now we'll try to. So previously he wouldn't have been able to do this, but because his influence is now gone to 7,
Right.
The telepathy now works. Is the range is essentially, when you activate it, you can link up with anyone you can see.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
Where previously it was like 5 within range.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that his spying has gone from like 100 miles to this plane of existence.
That's a change in distance. Hey,
It's a little jump. It's a little
boop.
it's exponential growth, really.
Just a little skip hop. No big deal.
Step up.
Oh. I was about to say, it's like the trick here though is that I still have to get like a power level 7 on this boon. But I just rolled double 10s on my.
Never mind.
Well, no, actually, I rolled triple 10s because it was both the D10s are 10s and the D20 is a 10.
So we start at 30.
So we start at 30, and there's actually no point going on except for like.
Fine.
No, because you're limited by your stat actually at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it only goes up. I can only go up. Well, telepathy only goes up to power level 7. So once you pass 24, you're whatever.
Done.
But 39 is the end result, because I just wanted to know.
That's ludicrous.
You don't get a bonus for getting over 10. You telepathy harder.
Mm-hmm.
And contact more than even more people. No. I think it will just be just Shagaza, not this other person. I think we might probably mention that. And again, it's like while he's entirely possible to just be like hi and just like jump into her head, he will again do the mental equivalent of like a mental handshake, door knocking sort of thing. Like to not have this be a rude surprise. Again, don't rudely surprise the assassin. There's one thing you pick up after a millennia. Also,
it can take a while, but eventually it will sink in.
Like, you know what you should stop doing? Scaring the assassin. Just don't do that.
Either the lesson sinks in or the dagger does, you pick. I mean, so yeah, Shagauza will have the same head up moment, and then the older woman will glance over at her, and they'll kind of look at each other, and there'll be a literal wave of fingers back and forth between each other, obviously a form of sign language, so that they're not interrupting the spoken conversation around the fire. And then Shagauza will get up and stroll away from the fire. Everything okay? The body language is that, hey, yeah, no, I'll be over here for a minute. It looks like a semicircle of yurt-style tents that are all fairly well constructed. Most of them aren't hide-roofed. It looks like canvas or some similar material. The star, you sort of got the radiance of the night sky spanning out over the plains, the flicker of the fire in the background. You can hear the others chatting, there's going to be a bit of a pause, followed by, so who is this?
Hi, it's Meisel. We met the other day. Earlier today, I guess. It's been a long day. At the kebab place. I was the little child.
Ah, I see. More to you than meets the eye, I guess.
Well, I was gonna just wait, but I think it suddenly occurred to me how I could do this. So this is new. This is the first time. Hi.
Hello there.
Normally I don't have this kind of range, but we're making it work. And I guess, like I said, I was just going to wait, but I learned some things, and I thought I probably should have a chat sooner rather than later, because, I was aware of your, let's say, handiwork earlier. And I didn't really think much of it. But then I guess I discovered what the note you left said. And I'd been trying to figure out why, when I was looking for information about what I am trying to do, I was directed towards you. I couldn't work out the connection. And I thought I did, and then I thought that I was wrong, and now I realize I wasn't. So I understand from your note that you are trying to protect a priestess as part of the clause of the dark. I'm going to double check that I got that correct. Clause in the dark.
Now you can still see her face, of course, because you've still got your spying ability turned on. So, for lack of a better way of putting it, she's looking less and less pleased the more you talk. Yes.
You see, I think that's the connection. So I feel like I'm also trying to help the priestess.
Continue.
I think the person I'm trying to help is your priestess that you're trying to protect. And for whatever reason, I was directed towards you. And that appears to be the connection. Now, I'm hoping that essentially we have the same desire. Because I would like to keep her safe as well.
All
But I
right.
don't know. Well, I don't know you. I don't know your organization. I don't know what is motivating you. And frankly, that's been a bit of a theme ever since I've been trying to help the priestess. A lot of unknowns. I'm trying to... I don't want to be looking over my shoulder when I could have an ally instead.
We should probably talk in person then, I suppose. Do understand, she's going to pause for a moment. You are in dangerous ground.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. I've been aware of
My
that
pe-
since the beginning.
My people do not, she smiles, take well, we'll use that phrase, to feeling as though their affairs are being meddled in.
Oh, that I understand. Partly because my concern is, well, that my affairs are being meddled in. But I think that they're not. Which is why this was more to say that we should talk. As you said, in person. Rather than to have a conversation now.
Are you still in the human city?
Yep. I don't have plans to be leaving any... I'll rephrase that. We have plans to move on, but not necessarily soon. Not in the next few days, at least. And if that changes, I can let you know.
My situation is such: I will be away from the human city for probably 2 days, and then I will be returning on business. The way she says that makes it very obvious what the business is going to be. But I can meet you beforehand. I will let you. You are still staying in. I can't remember. Michelle's can't. Did you tell her what inn you were staying at? I can't remember.
No, we were going to meet at the kebab place.
All right. I will leave a message with the cook at the cook that we both met. He will check in daily. He will know if I will be in town that afternoon.
All right. I'll start checking in a few days.
There's going to be a bit of a moment. And then you conduct your affairs with a wisdom beyond your age.
Well, you shouldn't let appearances fool you.
That's why I brought it up. Given that, do not think I will mistake you for a child if this is a ruse.
I find the best way to not have people think you're trying to deceive them is to not deceive them.
Excellent. We are agreed. I'll speak to you in 2 or 3 days if the stars favor us.
I look forward to it.
And for lack of a better way of putting it, she forcibly disconnects. You are suddenly made unwelcome.
Yeah, it's like she can try to hang up. but it's mostly telling me that you would like to stop now. At which point he's like, "Yeah, okay, I will." And he just cuts the whole thing. Like he stops spying as well. He doesn't need to. I imagine, just because I like the thing of it, that he is sort of coming back and refocusing where he is.
Mm-hmm.
We hear from outside Spider knocking on Alexandria's door.
I like that. Yes,
being like, "I want to show you something." and Maisel sort of smiles to himself, and then sighs a little bit, and he turns his head in the direction of the Confederacy. He's sort of clearly weighing something up, and he looks back to where, the other two are, hearing that door shut. And then he's going to try and find someone else.
All right. Who?
Elena.
Okay.
Did you just for experience? Did you want me to roll this?
Yes. Because amongst other things, she literally has a magic item, which makes this a little more complicated than it sounds. The cuckoo clock is there to ensure no one meddles with Elena.
Yeah. I rolled better than before, so.
All right.
20.
All right. So yes.
Should I
27
remove my headphones for this interaction?
I think I will leave it up to you. I don't know what the questions are going to be, so I don't know if it's a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to, and
all right.
I have the video preview for the stream closed, so I can't see it anyway.
I'll ping you via I'll ping you via Discord at worst.
Message me in stream chat, and I will.
Okay.
See.
Yes. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. All right.
So I assume I find her?
Yes. You've seen her before. She hasn't left the plane of existence, ergo.
And do you want me to roll again for the telepathy?
Yes, please.
No, that's fine. So I where is she in this before I guess connect?
So the mental image you will have is it's mid-evening. So yeah, she's going to be out in the garden.
Yeah,
same as like 1 a.m. So like is she not sleeping?
If it's going to be that late, then she's probably up reading, actually.
Well, that's when Spider and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yes, it would be about it'd be probably if it's around 1 a.m. then yeah, it should then she'd be in her she'd be actually in the same room you saw her in earlier. The only difference is she'll be basically where in her nightgown with a house coat tucked over and a couple lamps lit and reading a book and wearing a set of reading glasses and yeah.
And same as before. Doesn't just like barge in mentally. A mental equivalent of knocking on the door.
Okay. Yeah. It's going to be a bit of a pause. She'll look up and around. Followed by a very amused and actually said aloud, come in. Apparently, this isn't a new thing.
I apologize for the lateness of this call, I guess. I don't.
Oh, I'm rarely asleep before this hour anyway. Old habits.
Yeah, I figured.
And who are you?
I guess if we're being formal,
I'm rather honest.
I was known as the Blind Wanderer. Sorry. And my name is Ludovic Macha, but I mostly go by Mysel these days. And I know your granddaughter.
She will very quiet, without a great amount of fanfare. She'll pick up a wax tablet and a stylus and start making some marks on it. Were you by the visitor the other evening?
I was, along with Alexandre. She was concerned, and I told her that I would be able to let her see you. And now I have realized, well, I can do a bit more. But I wanted to have a conversation beforehand.
Mm-hmm. About what exactly?
I was asked to help Alexandre and one of her companion. But it's very clear to me there are a lot of unanswered questions surrounding her and them and what they have to do. Who's after them? Where danger is coming from? And I felt like no one's going to understand that better than you.
I suppose you have that much right.
You have a remarkable granddaughter.
You have that right as well, she says. Is it obvious pride in her voice?
When I do be able to find you, she shared with me some memories of you so that I could locate your essence, essentially.
I'm familiar with how telepathy works.
But because of my circumstance, I guess, I'm sometimes able to see not just the present, but the past and occasionally the future. And so while doing this, I got more insight than I would have just from her memories. She showed me when she told you that she could hear the song. And her memory is one of joy, I guess, pride.
What a day.
And I saw the sadness and the pain. Then I often see things that others don't. And when I see your granddaughter, I can see the goodness in her. I can see the desire. But I can see the confusion and the fear. I can see how lost she feels. And I can see the danger. Because we just don't have information about who wants what. Particularly this song. I want to help. I feel like I guess I feel lost as well.
It's a familiar feeling.
That's what I figured.
I can do what I can, but I am... You can see that she's trying to work around a language. It's almost as though she's trying to speak a different language, momentarily, like manually doing translation. I have a contractual obligation that prevents me from explaining in arbitrarily decided unnecessary detail all things that go with this.
That was certainly an assumption I'd made.
How to say you're under a gay as without actually being able to use those words.
I'm familiar. I know what it's like to hold your child or your grandchild and want nothing more than to protect them, to keep them safe, to make sure that when they go out into the world, that they have the best chance possible. And I also know what it's like to not be able to do that. So I get it. And I understand that, well, I had assumed that there would be there had to be something in place to prevent clear communication. It was the only thing that made sense. But I suppose knowing that it exists, well, that helps a little bit on its own.
I wouldn't send someone I disliked on an errand like that without the information to keep them safe, let alone my granddaughter, if I had a choice.
Yeah. Do you know anything about a group called the Claws in the Dark?
Actually, hang on a sec. She might. It's been a while, but she's not a dumb woman. So I'll make that. That is a really good role for her. Okay. She's going to pause for a moment because you are seeing her as well as talking to her. She's obviously racking her brain. It's kind of like saying, it's like someone giving you an address you haven't lived at in 30 years. It sounds familiar, but God, if you can remember the phone number. Yeah. Cultists, I think.
That was certainly my impression, yeah.
they caused a hell of a mess at a little frontier town when myself and my friends were going through that. Once we'd gotten onto the plains, we knew they were watching us. We didn't understand why. They wouldn't seem to approach us and they wouldn't talk to us. But she kind of grimaces. We found examples of their handiwork a couple of times.
Yeah, I had a front row seat at their efficiency, I guess.
I no idea what they look like nor what they want, but I know it had something to do with the song, she says. I was always left with we argued about it constantly, but I was always left with this impression that they were clearing a path for us.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping for more, but that certainly tracks. I'm not unsurprised, I guess. As far as I'm aware, from what I've seen, they were trying to protect what they referred to as the priestess. And, well, Alexandre confirmed that that was her. And I was directed towards one or two of their members trying to, well, learn more about the specific task that, well, the song had asked me to do. Somehow, I don't know if they're going to be helpful or not, but yeah, I don't particularly like dealing with highly dangerous people that I don't know, but I'm glad to know that I can probably trust they're not a threat to Alexandre. Myself and Jasper, well, Kazra as well.
Jasper? Is that the Edgewater boy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think he'd appreciate.
You're kidding me.
Well, there used to be two of them. That's kind of why I'm here.
This look of absolute horror is on Elena's face as she realizes what you just said. Wait a minute.
Did she not know? Didn't she get?
Are you? No, she absolutely had no. She had no idea. And there's literally going to be this look of something akin to scandal, horror, and delight in fast rotation. So, are you telling me that my granddaughter is out tramping across the countryside with Cedric's sons?
Well, have you received letters from Alexandre?
Not in the past few weeks.
Ah. There have been some things that have happened recently, and I don't feel like it's my place to tell you. I know she wrote you a letter, and I will offer her the chance to communicate with you if that is something she is comfortable doing, and maybe she'll tell you herself.
In the meantime, I know exactly who to choke about a missing letter. Thank you. That answers that question.
Yeah.
I think this is the moment when Meisel is desperately pleased to not be anyone that she wants to choke, just the way she says that.
Impression of like it's like with Shagauser, it's like, no, I should be careful. With Elena, it's like, I'm really glad there's like a continent between us.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, you are not left with the sensation that she meant choke figuratively.
She was traveling with two of them, and from what I understand about Cedric, I can appreciate the surprise and mirth, to be honest. He seems, well, I know his type, I guess. It'd be a way to phrase that. She was traveling with two Edgewaters. She's now traveling with one. And that's why I was... It's a brief moment where he's like, don't tell Jasper I referred to him as an Edgewater. But that's partially why I was asked to help.
There's going to be this dry moment. She'll say the Edgewaters need all the help they can get. All right.
Well, I'm not just helping Jasper, I'm helping Alexandre as well. Like I said, it's not my place.
I understand.
It's been hard for both of them.
I suppose at the point you're asking about the claws in the dark, that means they're up on the plains, huh?
Yeah.
That's my girl. Mother is beside herself. I took your visit the other evening as a good sign, and politely fibbed that I'd received word that, she was doing well and was having a grand adventure. That seems to have mollified a few people, but her mother and her father are wrought. I can't exactly explain what's up, of course, even if I wanted to.
I've been kind of laying low for a while, but I'm not new to this kind of travel, I guess. And I know you're. Well, I heard the stories. Very impressive.
Thank you.
But you know what it can be like. Everyone likes the nice stories afterwards. And even the scary ones, once you're past them, can be fun.
But when you're bleeding, out on a stone cold floor, wondering if this is going to be the last moment of your life, and whether or not you just failed everyone else in your group, those moments are a little less. They're just such downers at parties. No one buys drinks after that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's worse when you're not the one on the floor.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
At the moment, things aren't great. They could be a lot worse, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure they're not. But they're not great. And like I said, Alexandre is struggling with the weight of what she's been asked to do, particularly when she has so little information about any of it. I'm glad I got to talk. Like I said, I can potentially arrange it so she could be here next if we do this again. Though if you're
tell her the greatest strength is always honesty. And in a foe, it can be the greatest weakness for them. That might help.
The greatest strength is always honesty, and in a foe, it can be the greatest weakness. Their greatest weakness.
You will notice, by the way, she has a nosebleed at this point, that she's actively picked up a hanky and is dabbing. It literally hurt for her to do that.
It occurs to me I should ask if you are okay if I offer the possibility to Alexandre to do this. And I get, again, that it would hurt to say no. But I would also understand.
I'm just afraid that if I was to deny her every question, she'd just hate me more for putting her in this situation. At least this way, there's a happy memory left.
She's not going to hate you.
I'm not sure I wouldn't.
She's clever enough to be able to understand why.
She has immense look of relief on her face.
I would be incredibly surprised if she hasn't already figured out that that's a likely scenario. If anything, it might... It's not going to affect how she feels about you. It'll affect how she feels about the song. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I'll let you get back to your book. It was nice talking to you.
Likewise. Perhaps another time.
Ends the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Summon Chantel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're back. Excellent.
Probably, Mysel comes back into the room and he sort of goes, okay. He probably gets up and goes to leave the room at that moment, which we can cut back to others, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Danny, is there any scene you want to have, or do we forward the clock to the next morning?
I think that we deserve to forward the clock. We have been on the 36-hour period. I'm not going to hold this up any longer. Let's do it.
A 5-second shot of Kazra at the perch of shame.
Still managing to hang upside down, yeah.
It'll be a situation where it's not supposed to be upside down, but it is.
I don't even know if she made it that far, honestly. She would have just had to come back the next day. Like, I can't believe you gave the bird alcohol. It's really quite sad.
How could you give the bird alcohol? How could
dare.
you?
How dare you?
You should all be ashamed for giving the
very dare
bird
you.
alcohol.
That's right.
All right then. So
we may. I mean, does Alexandria need to deal with the fact that she noticed someone spying on us? Or do you leave it to more?
Just pretend it didn't happen. It's fine. It's fine. No, Alexandria absolutely wouldn't do that. So
all right.
we can't fast forward to the next morning. That doesn't make practical sense.
Pretty good.
We've been avoiding the subject, but we can no longer.
All right then.
Spider.
Hmm.
Wait, hang on. Does Alexandra
Yes,
see
you're-
anything if she looks over? If she's like,
No, I mean, so you know what it is.
Yeah.
You're being scryed on. You know that.
yes, and she still does the look.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, because like I say, it literally feels like someone looking over your shoulder, and it's you know, it's almost reflexed, right?
Spider.
Yeah.
Someone just looked at you.
Well, yes, you were standing right there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, a walking stick flickers into his hand.
Not here. I think someone just spied on you, and they've been trying to look at me, and they couldn't find me, so now they looked at you.
Our well-carved friend.
But I don't think you use your calves to spy, so some other
Are they
part.
still watching?
Would I know if they're still watching?
yes, the way that you are aware the entire time that they succeeded in scrying on Spider, so they're watching him for the duration, and the 60-foot area around Spider that you're in. So you are aware of the fact that yes, whoever it is still watching, and possibly can hear you.
Whoever it is potentially listening right now anyway. So if there's something you want to say, you might want to say it.
Spider just lifts his middle finger to the sky.
That's one of those things I like about Spider. There are moments absolutely predictable. Look, lady. Have had enough of your crap.
Yeah.
Feel free to swivel on it.
No, I think he says something along the line of, I hope your neck still hurts. If you're listening still. All right.
Yeah, they're still listening.
Yeah, okay, cool.
If you are Genevieve, maybe we could talk.
And Spider's like, what the?
What did you just do?
Instead of you just coming here and trying to kill us, maybe we could talk instead first. I mean, I would prefer instead of. But,
hang on a sec. Let me just check a stat block.
Oh no.
Since you invited...
I did not.
No, it's vampire
Just
rules.
did.
What have we done?
Did we just find out that grandmother was a vampire?
Oh no.
I do love that moment where everyone has the, oh, what did we just do?
Oh no, it's fine though, because my result's like a 20. It's fine.
Let's not make this about we, Michelle.
No,
In this particular moment, I'm happy for Alexandria to be
It's
An I, not a we.
it's a we. It's a we. It's definitely we.
Oh dear, we.
We may have made a mistake.
We.
And Mysel was worried that him contacting people was going to cause problems.
I did not contact anyone.
All I can think of is Mysel pulling the blankets up and then hearing the roof getting ripped apart above him going, uh-oh. I know that ain't me.
Oh boy. I mean, look.
I mean, depending on what that 60-foot radius, like if Spider comes back and like enters that 60-foot radius, and Mysel's like, shit.
I mean, Mysel's in that 60-foot radius unless Mysel left the.
Yes, but it is line of sight. So because Mysel is physically through the floor, she can't see.
Yes.
What is her?
To be fair, I don't think it is. It's you see and hear everything that within a radius rather than.
Yes, centered on the person. But to me, I can't.
It doesn't make sense.
No,
through the floor.
but I mean, like, the awareness of the unseen presence would still be within that area, not. So if Mysel's in that area, Mysel will be like, the fuck was that?
I was just going to say, then yes, Mysel would be having the alarm.
Fun.
The alarm bell moment go off because I think she'd roll an 18.
Yeah.
And so yes, Mysel would be having the alarm bell moment going off.
Wait, what's
Kazra's
resolve?
She rolled equal to
Kazra.
Spider's resolve.
Oh yes,
it was a 15.
Yeah, you're right. It was 15.
It was equal, so it was 15.
Which Mysel's is better. So.
Oh wow, that's an open end.
What's
so
Kazra's resolve?
That's a 13, a 7, a 29.
I'm less than a 15 then.
And then the advantage is a 7.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, okay, so that winds up. So she's since you invited her, she doesn't knock. Is the politest way of explaining what happens to you and Spider. She doesn't knock.
Oh, both. Oh, good. Whoops.
You have the sensation of the world getting physically grabbed out from under you, like you were a 12-year-old who just got pushed off the top of the slide in the playground. It is not the warm, comforting, hey, it's Mysel, I'm here, want to chat. There's an awful lot of baggage on this transmission. Well, hello. Thank you so much for inviting me.
What? No.
Oh yeah.
I would have expected a knock. I would have expected a knock before, just
I can knock if you like,
no,
but you
thank
won't
you.
enjoy it.
No. Hi.
You're in a lot of danger, little girl. The only reason I'm letting him listen in is because I want him suitably panicked. Tell me, is he your toy?
I'm sorry?
He's not. I said, is he your toy? He's pretty good looking. It's always good to keep something for the road, right?
No.
You're awful confident for someone I almost killed last time we met.
See, that's the part you don't understand. That's the same thing as awful confident because I survived your best efforts.
By running away. Yeah, okay. Well done. Good job. Yep.
Spider? Probably not helpful right now.
So, have any of your newfound friends bothered to explain to you what this is about? Or are you still just running blindly off to that little volcano?
What do you think?
I can tell by your answer that you don't have a clue. Right. And you, little boy, what about you? You have any clue yet? Have you been honest with her?
Honest about what? I don't know anything more than she does.
So you've no idea why I've been why I've tried to make off with you once and murder you the second time, have you? Not a clue.
No.
If I'm going to
The
die,
first
I
time
would...
we thought it was the bounty, to be fair.
A bounty? Gold? You think I would go to all of that aggravation? Gold is cheap. No. Oh, goodness, child. Gold is cheap. You can pull it out of the ground if you want. I don't care about gold. Oh, no. I don't care about gold at all.
You said you wanted everything.
Well, I want everything let's just say I'm well employed, and my patron is incredibly generous when I bring good gifts. And since I know where you're going and why, even if you don't, you'll make wonderful gifts. Now, I have some very good news for you. I can leave your friends out of this. It's just you I won't. But the Praetorian would be handy, but I heard a rumor. Care to confirm?
What rumor did you hear?
That you aren't traveling with a Praetorian anymore.
Why do you want me?
I tell you what. I'll tell you. Because either you're going to believe that I'm telling the truth, or you're not. And either way, you'll be terrified. And I kind of like the sound of that. I intend to slit your throat on an altar to my demon patron, and using the power that you contain, wind all of that magic up into a tornado, and level this godforsaken continent once and for all. I want the power of your song. Just that little bit. It's all I need. And I really don't care if I kill every one of your friends to do it. So, I suppose the question is what's more important? Your friends? Or you? Give me a call back when you're ready to talk it out. Bye. Ta-ta.
Alexa,
oh.
you know, I always thought that the villains in plays were like overact. Oh. It'd been funnier if she heard it.
While this is happening, given that I was aware that the spying was... So last time the spying happened, he was able to trace it. He was able to trace it to the fact that he could enough that he knew that on his own he couldn't find it.
Yes.
What is he able to do while the call is connected for that extended period of time?
I will allow you to roll with advantage 1.
Ooh.
Prescience, right?
I would assume so, yeah.
Yep.
27.
Wow. Yes. Well, that's an interesting area code. You saw that in a history book lately. Just last night at supper, in fact. Apparently, she's using Mom's phone.
Interesting.
Or Grandmom's phone. My apologies. Grandmom's phone.
Cool.
So if the history book from the Deliverance is to be believed, and the information you've just been able to scry, which was literally the blasted ruins that pretty much look like, well, one of the illustrations, plus minus, 120 years of ivy. Yeah, you know exactly where she's right now. There's the little detail about being able to get there in a reasonable amount of time. You're looking at about 1,000 nautical miles, I think. I'd have to go double check the map to be sure, but
as soon as it cuts off, Myson starts making his way towards the other two.
Sure.
That is a seriously unhinged lady.
Yep.
Do you feel a bit better now?
Does knowing you're being pursued by a homicidal maniac who wants to nuke the world with the contents of your throat make you feel any better, says Spider?
You know, yes.
Whatever your song wants, it can't be as ridiculous as that.
Well, we don't know that.
I mean, I guess it could be the exact same thing.
It could be the exact same thing. I could go there and get my throat slit by something else, or I could wait for her to get me and then slit my throat anyway.
Except the song Let Your Grandmother Go. Don't think it's going to slit your throat.
Depends on why it let her go and why it contacted me.
Well, I won't let it slit your throat then.
It's nice of you to try.
I don't know how you fight music, but I'll work it out.
That's good.
In the meantime, I definitely know how to kill that lady, so...
Well, I mean, it sounds like you didn't before, so...
I'm sorry, none of you saw that shot, but it was bloody brilliant, all right?
It would have been bloody brilliant if you actually killed her. I would just say it's brilliant, at most.
I hit a target that was moving that I couldn't see whilst it was trying to teleport away.
That sounds incredible. So brilliant, definitely. You hit the target. That is brilliant.
I see
You did
what
not
you're
achieve
saying.
what you were trying to achieve, therefore it is not bloody brilliant. It is just brilliant, because not enough blood.
Critics, there's always critics.
Just trying to be realistic.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
Really?
Oh yeah, you're very realistic as a person, just generally.
Okay.
And that will be the moment that Mysel arrives.
He's just sort of standing in the doorway. I've spent centuries on and off trying to figure out how to contact people over long distances. And I finally cracked it. And it turns out that bitch could do it all this whole time. That's just irritating. So how's your night been? Because mine was very interesting.
As a reminder, for those of you in the audience not quite following along, Alexandria is basically hosed, and Spider has been waxing philosophical and eloquent up until about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was a real nice night until about 10 seconds ago.
I heard. Well, felt, I guess. It's a better way to put it. She's in the Deliverance, by the way.
Well, it doesn't
And
matter
her.
if you can like open a portal to anywhere anyway.
It's true. But she's
Such
at
a
her
long
grandma's old residence. Specifically.
A hole in the ground.
Maybe. Or maybe something was missed. That's giving her a base of operation.
So, okay, thank you.
And thank you for keeping the call going. Couldn't have done it otherwise.
You're welcome. She wants to slit my throat. To just give my blood to a demon.
Well, that's okay. We know some people who don't want that to happen, and they're very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Shikaza will be back in the next couple of days. She's going to leave me a note
That's
when she does.
I'm sure that is good. That
Not the word
Yeah.
I'd use.
well, I mean, no. There is. I mean, there's a one person after my throat. There is another cat person killing people to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Who knows? Maybe they'll both solve each other's. We don't have to worry about either of them. That was an attempt at lightening the mood, but okay. I realized immediately that was a terrible idea.
No, I mean,
Given the
I
context.
appreciate the positive attitude.
So do I. I'm just very drunk and tired. And a lot of people want me to use brain energy.
Well, how about we get some rest? We can compare notes in the morning.
Okay.
Mysel goes to go back to his room and then sort of pauses in the doorway and turns back round and sort of says, doesn't turn away, just sort of mostly over his shoulder. Oh, Alexandre, in my experience, when you leave someone in your room, don't do it for too long.
Oh. Okay. What? Okay.
And he just goes.
Was there someone else in your room?
Yeah?
I'm sorry. I apologize. I mean, the stars are nice, but...
Okay.
Go, run, have fun.
Alexandra goes back to her room. I don't know why they sent me. Just shuts the door. I don't know why they sent me back. Like that. No, it's okay. It's okay. Go back to sleep.
Guys is like probably in a corner, like not even laying down, just
No, I'm under a wing.
like arms folded, wings like Just
Yeah.
kind of like
Wing tented
dozing
over
off.
her head. Dozed
Yeah.
out. Yeah. Next morning. For those of you who do want to see what the place looks like, I've posted a floor plan, just as much for curiosity as anything else, to the World Anvil site, so you can see what the main floor looks like.
Mhm.
And yeah,
It's a link
you can
in
grab
chat.
it. Thank you, very good. So yeah,
Should we take a break?
that's actually a really good
It's
idea.
good
I could use a
timing.
refresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Because it's a new morning. We finally made it through
Day.
Oh my god, yes.
We finally made it through a full day.
Screen goes to black day 1, and then it like rolls to day 2, and then just comes back in. You're like,
It would have done that at the beginning of the session, and then me going, no, we can't do that.
just
It goes
grab
back.
it.
Day one,
Dare you.
still.
Day 1 continues. Day 1's still here. The next day 1.
The next day one.
All right, yeah, no, I think, a quick break would be fantastic, actually.
Let us do that.
All right.
And why hands?
Have you considered that you might like a disguise that doesn't involve being wrapped up in veils?
Yes.
Will you let me do your makeup?
No.
You...
Think don't be afraid.
You look like you need a ride. You look like you need a ride. I'm here to help, but I don't think that I can fit your friend there. Can you ask them if they are going to eat me?
Depends
In
on
that
your
case-
answer.
My name is Michel Vaillancourt. I'm the games master and storyteller for Unlawful Disorder. I've been asked to give a summary of events of the game, but that seems a little strange because, well, that's the job of the players. Don't ask me what the story is, I'm just the guy telling it. So, let's talk about how we got here. So, about a year ago, I saw a bunch of really talented people doing some really cool stuff, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll have to keep them in mind. And a little while after that, I got a call from a roleplay channel asking me to set up a game. They wanted a European time zone friendly game. So I went back and I called up the cool people doing the cool stuff. So that would be Chantel and company. Cool. So, after that, we took a little bit of time, discussed a good D&D campaign, and I brought forward one of my homebrew worlds. And they looked at me and said, no.
You're sure he's not gonna eat me?
He's not gonna eat you.
Okay, I'm a friend then.
Depends
In
on
that
your
case,
answer.
It's not the name that's on the bounty, and that's all that matters to me.
Okay. Now I just have to remember to respond to it.
Well, you'll do that, won't you, Aerith? Aerith,
Are you going to eat them?
Considers it.
By the way, you have no clue what she's on about. Like, you've never seen one of these things before.
he's a vegan!
Oh, what?
Definitely don't know what that is.
I don't care what he is. He's got big teeth.
You do have big teeth. Nothing.
Hugo's grasp of the trade tongue is
Oh,
body.
do you? Oh, do you? What do you eat them?
sort of looks back up. I will not consume that person.
Could you be a little more generic and just say you're not going to consume anyone in the city as well? Just to make it easier.
That'd be great.
Sort of reverting back to Elvish, like,
Just try.
what language?
No.
I'm not gonna eat people.
I know you're not going to eat people.
Language is hard.
I know. Just say it the way I'm telling you to say it. I'm not going to eat the city.
I'm not gonna eat the city.
Yes.
I'm not gonna eat the city. Mental image got too funny.
Why hands?
Have you considered that you might like a disguise that doesn't involve being wrapped up in veils?
Yes.
Will you let me do your makeup?
No.
You...
Think don't be afraid.
You look like you need a ride. You look like you need a ride. I'm here to help, but I don't think that I can fit your friend there. Can you ask them if they are going to eat me?
Depends
In
on
that
your
case-
answer.
My name is Michel Vaillancourt. I'm the games master and storyteller for Unlawful Disorder. I've been asked to give a summary of events of the game, but that seems a little strange because, well, that's the job of the players. Don't ask me what the story is, I'm just the guy telling it. So, let's talk about how we got here. So, about a year ago, I saw a bunch of really talented people doing some really cool stuff, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll have to keep them in mind. And a little while after that, I got a call from a roleplay channel asking me to set up a game. They wanted a European time zone friendly game. So I went back and I called up the cool people doing the cool stuff. So that would be Chantel and company. Cool. So, after that, we took a little bit of time, discussed a good D&D campaign, and I brought forward one of my homebrew worlds. And they looked at me and said, no.
You're sure he's not gonna eat me?
He's not gonna eat you.
Okay, I'm a friend then.
Depends
In
on
that
your
case,
answer.
It's not the name that's on the bounty, and that's all that matters to me.
Okay. Now I just have to remember to respond to it.
Well, you'll do that, won't you, Eric? Eric,
Are you going to eat them?
Considers it.
By the way, you have no clue what she's on about. Like, you've never seen one of these things before.
he's a vegan!
oh, what?
Definitely don't know what that is.
I don't care what he is. He's got big teeth.
You do have big teeth. Nothing.
Hero's grasp of the trade tongue is
Oh,
body.
do you? Oh, do you? What do you eat them?
sort of looks back up. I will not consume that person.
Could you be a little more generic and just say you're not going to consume anyone in the city as well? Just so make it easier.
That'd be great.
Sort of reverting back to Elvish, like,
Just try.
what language?
know?
I'm not gonna eat people.
I know you're not going to eat people.
Language is hard.
I know. Just say it the way I'm telling you to say it. I'm not going to eat the city.
I'm not gonna eat the city. I'm not gonna eat the city. Mental image got too funny.
Why hands?
Have you considered that you might like a disguise that doesn't involve being wrapped up in veils?
Yes.
Will you let me do your makeup?
No.
You...
Think don't be afraid.
You look like you need a ride. You look like you need a ride. I'm here to help, but I don't think that I can fit your friend there. Can you ask them if they are going to eat me?
Depends
In
on
that
your
case-
answer.
My name is Michel Vaillancourt. I'm the games master and storyteller for Unlawful Disorder. I've been asked to a summary.
I am being nice.
It doesn't work. I genuinely,
You
just
simply do not
assumed that
believe.
some trickery was done. Like 3, 2, 1. I did it 10 seconds ago, or 3, 2, 1, and then we wait, or
3, 2, 1. It still hasn't happened yet. Oh no,
The
it has
damage is-
now.
the
3,
damage is done. I think.
The trust is
Yeah.
gone.
3, 2, 1. I never went on break.
Yeah.
That one would hurt us all. That would hurt us all. We made it to the next morning. We made it to day 2.
Yeah.
Now we just all die, or we time travel back.
Back to the future.
You're wearing the right shirt for it.
Shit.
So yeah, next morning,
Everyone pull up.
breakfast, with varying degrees of why did I do that last night on a variety of topics, in fact.
Do birds snore?
Mhm.
Some
so
birds do. I have
essentially
actually heard
you
of
folk-
birds snore.
They might
Y- y-
whistle.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. So you folks have got the table to the to the direct north of the staircase down to the pantry. That's now your table because, well, Spider's a business. Stitch is a Switch, whatever, is a business associate.
Where is your Lino?
Experiment 626.
Sorry.
Frantically
Don't be, that was great.
Scribbling
No.
changes to the character sheet.
Oh, Hannah.
Okay.
I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix it.
Michelle scribbling changes to the song. How did everyone pull up?
The spider didn't drink. He's fine.
Ow.
Cass is like moderately chipper for the morning.
Uh-oh. We lost a...
Oh no!
No.
Not
I
after the
thought-
break.
I thought that might be what was happening because
Man.
it's not like Michelle to leave a silent gap like that.
Oh.
I mean that in a nice way, but
Yeah. Let's... Should we just go back to break?
I mean, what else are we gonna do?
I mean... Look, you make a good point.
Go back to break.
Back to break. Okay, more breaks. More breaks is
Bye.
good breaks. Bye. Why hands?
have you considered that you might like a disguise that doesn't involve being wrapped up in veils?
Yes.
Will you let me do your makeup?
No.
You...
Think don't be afraid.
You look like you need a ride. You look like you need a ride. I'm here to help, but I don't think that I can fit your friend there. Can you ask them if they are going to eat me?
Depends
In
on
that
your
case-
answer.
My name is Michel Vaillancourt. I'm the games master and storyteller for Unlawful Disorder. I've been asked to give a summary of events of the game, but that seems a little strange because, well, that's the job of the players. Don't ask me what the story is, I'm just the guy telling it. So, let's talk about how we got here. So, about a year ago, I saw a bunch of really talented people doing some really cool stuff, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll have to keep them in mind. And a little while after that, I got a call from a roleplay channel asking me to set up a game. They wanted a European time zone friendly game. So I went back and I called up the cool people doing the cool stuff. So that would be Chantel and company. Cool. So, after that, we took a little bit of time, discussed a good D&D campaign, and I brought forward one of my homebrew worlds. And they looked at me and said, no.
You're sure he's not gonna eat me?
He's not gonna eat you.
Okay, I'm a friend then.
Depends
In
on
that
your
case,
answer.
It's name that
This time I didn't count, but I did use
Okay.
my I used my fingers to tell you.
Yay for
That's all.
fingers!
That's all.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No,
But
I know
I
you weren't
definitely
looking,
did not.
but I figured you're not gonna use it. You don't want it. You don't want. You just look.
Oh, my.
I am drunk. Still.
wake me up if I...
No, don't wake
Well,
me
and-
up.
So, as I was saying, yes, next morning, hello, ring ring. Room service. No, we don't do that here. So you're all down the main room.
Why?
Find something like high protein and greasy from a recognizable meat that we offered to the two hungover people.
As was eating some kind of a grain that she has in her hand, like this.
I don't want to eat anything right now, to be entirely honest with you. I just would like to empty my stomach some more.
That doesn't sound very pleasant at all.
It's... Don't birds regurgitate?
I don't like to think about it.
Okay.
Like
God,
asking,
the word
I-
regurgitate.
That's like asking us if we drink from our mother's teat still. Don't be rude.
I don't mean as an adult. I mean,
Do
like,
you?
No.
my mother is
Okay.
not here.
That wasn't a no.
Also, no.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking. I will have to check in on. I'm gonna. Maybe I'll stay in Spider's room next time.
Okay.
And that spider's like, oh. It's a yep. No, maybe. If I go and do some business today, are you lot gonna stay out of trouble?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Not good at that.
And I quote, that tracks.
It
They don't
it
seem
finds
very good
me.
at that.
They try, but from experience, trouble seems to come to us.
Talk to me on just the large scale of time, not you. And she sort of gestures vaguely at Meisel. Not you. Just how many times have one of you gone off and then the rest of you stayed out of trouble? Statistically. And at this point, it turns out that it becomes apparent that, like, Kazra's chipper, not because she's sober or, like, not hungover, it's because she's still drunk.
That tracks.
The best way to not be hungover. Be still drunk.
Yes.
In
I've
my
definitely
experience
woken
of
up.
Of this group, more often than not,
Trouble.
I don't need to
like
look
one
for
of them will get in
trouble.
trouble, but like not always both.
I don't get into trouble.
That sounds like a lie.
No, it's
No.
not. I don't get into trouble. Trouble comes and it surrounds me.
Yeah, Alexander
I get
is
mugged.
the trouble.
I get mugged by trouble.
Simply sit still and wait.
So, like what happened at the temple yesterday.
I mean, it wasn't me getting into trouble. I was just trying to show you La Chanson. Oh, we
have
saw...
eggs-
Huh? Spider asked me to look at the sky, and we saw a red dot.
Where?
In a direction. Oh, also, the lady with nice calves wants to slit my throat.
Well, we can't
So-
let that happen. I would probably get fired. You,
We can't sacrifice your job.
or your life. They're both very important. I think. So maybe we should not go around her. What?
She has a bad habit of teleporting wherever we are.
And now she knows we're within 60 feet of here. Or at least she did until I went back, until she left. But she decided to talk, which is nice.
You're all remarkably cavalier about this.
Oh, I'm in too much pain to be anything but cavalier about it. Because if I think about it, I will panic. But that was kind of the point of drinking a lot, so
These two.
this works. Huh?
Why are you two remarkably cavalier about all of it?
The last time I ran into her, I shot her full of arrows and she ran away. So you
But
know.
she didn't die. That
She
was
ran away.
How many times do you have to shoot somebody before they die?
apparently one more than Spider did.
Well, like 1/26 more.
Did you hit her in the foot 24 times and then?
Okay, first of
one
all,
each
she
arm?
was moving, and I couldn't see her, and she was trying to teleport, and I still hit her.
Sounds like a lot of excuses to me, Mr. Sketch.
I am going for a walk.
Don't shoot anybody on your way out.
Well, it would be fine. They wouldn't die.
But they'd be mildly inconvenienced. Don't do it.
Good to have allies, eh, Spider?
Oh, with friends like these.
Wait, stop. Don't come back.
After Jasper goes, Mysel, who'd been considering in his head that maybe we shouldn't be leading with has nice calves, like, of the important information to share about this person, that might be considered burying the lead.
Teleporting.
I mean, she also said slits my throat. Like, that's...
It started with nice... Anyway, it was a private...
Well, because that's how she's been described.
Sure. But, like... When
You
describe
start
yourself to new
with
people,
the descriptors,
the
the
crazy
things...
cult is trying to kill us, who
But,
also
like-
has nice calves.
But if someone is walking down the street, they're going to look like a person, not like a crazy cultist.
I mean, honestly, if you're talking to calves, it's probably lead with the teleportation and the cultism and stuff like that, and then go with, and you'll know her by her good calves.
Alexandri's hungover? That doesn't... There's no filter. She's too tired.
This can only be an excuse for this morning. What about the yesterday when we actually talked about it?
Yesterday, she just was thinking about the calves at the time.
Now we have new information.
Yeah, exactly.
Useless.
Yeah, after Jasper sort of gets up and heads off, Mysel will say, I contacted someone else last night as well.
You contacted
as-
someone.
Well,
Oh,
I contacted Shagalza,
yes.
but I also contacted someone else.
Okay.
And we should probably have a conversation about that. But it might be better when you're feeling a little better, so I don't heap more things upon you, as it were.
We haven't been traveling together long. However, my entire maybe 3 months, maybe a year of my life have been more things. So
More things.
you can add things if you want, because right now it's just kind of a lot of pain.
I don't make a habit of trying to make things harder for people who are already in pain. I'm more than happy to have this conversation if you would like. I'm just saying I'm also happy to wait until you're less hungover.
Is the conversation you want to have going to make me throw up?
I talked with your grandma.
1 second. Goes outside, throws up.
I knew that was Dwayne.
I take it she doesn't get along with her grandma very well. Often good.
No, I get the impression they have a very good relationship.
Oh, that's good then. That's good then.
Comes back.
But also, her grandma was the last one to hear the song.
I hope she didn't hear the one I heard. That'd be such a bummer. Be deeply unfortunate. Oh.
Just gestures towards where Alexandre went to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, Cass gets up to go check on Alexandria again.
Not what I know. Okay.
Do you require assistance?
I am capable.
I
I am
that.
capable of This is a solo mission.
Okay. I'll be back inside. Mysel Mysel told me to.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't stop to think about it. I'm gonna turn around now. I am not in your way.
Okay.
She's got sort of both wings, sort of like fanned out in front of.
Don't puke on my feathers.
Well, she's shielding her eyes, but like. Yeah, and then she slowly backs up. She seems to think she's fine on her own and is breathing just fine. Is that what you wanted me to do? I don't.
I was indicating by her reaction that clearly it was the same song that the grandma heard.
Oh,
Why the reaction?
I figured the reaction was more about the alcohol than anything, to be quite honest with you. But you know what? What your theory makes a lot of sense as well.
I like to think that it was just that extra bit that sort of pushed her over the edge.
Yeah.
But she probably will feel a bit better getting it out of her system.
Yeah, probably so.
Been a while since I've drunk. At least that amount.
Did you have alcohol?
Alcohol's been around for a while.
I just mean that your liver, the way that you are now.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Like, yeah, no. I couldn't handle a lot of drink at the moment. Probably would be worse. It's not worth doing at the moment, so I don't.
If this
hasn't been for a while.
We're probably about the same there, and I can tell you, 10-4, not a great idea. However, I hope this isn't an insensitive question, but when you get smaller, do your insides get younger? Is your liver better now than the last time you had a beer? Those are the questions.
I would assume my liver is as capable as it was the last time I was 12. For whatever that's worth.
That is very neat. That's a nice feature. I hope you drank a whole lot before, since it all just got reversed. It's pretty cool.
There was definitely a period of time where drinking was the way I handled things.
Well, sad drinking doesn't seem like a good idea, but to each their own.
Yeah, no, it didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot to forget, so you know.
Rarely does alcohol help anything, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Well, it does hurt, but it doesn't hurt. You know how it hurts, but it doesn't hurt. I'm gonna.
There are worse solutions. And there are many, many better ones as well.
Attaboy.
Alexandre gets back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Kaz will slide her beverage over to Alexandria.
What's in it?
It's water.
Okay. She sips.
Try to eat something as well when you're able.
If I put it in, it might come back.
That's why I said when you're able.
Okay.
But it will get to a point where dehydration and hunger are bigger contributors than the alcohol.
Roasted wildflower seeds?
Are they salted?
Yes.
She tries them.
It probably doesn't taste like anything, to be quite frank. It's like eating a very, very small, like if rice crackers were the size of grains of rice, it's kind of what you'd be eating.
Well, this is fine then. That's good hangover food. Tastes like nothing. Is just salty.
It's just salty.
You spoke to my grandma.
Yeah.
What did she say? What did you say? What was said?
After I talked with Shigalza, I thought about how little we know, really. Now it keeps seeming other people know more. This Claws in the Dark group, this Genevieve, even Cedric to an extent. So I thought I might have a chat with someone who would understand the situation. Not many better choices than your grandma.
Okay, and what did she say?
Not a lot. Shum, it's occurred to you that she didn't share a lot of information with you before you left.
Nope.
Have you considered why?
I assumed she couldn't.
Yeah, that's what I said to her as well. You're correct. She can't.
Why not?
She said she was... She referred to it as a contract that prevented her from clearly expressing the situation. And not just to you, just in general. More than a few times I could see her physically struggling, trying to find a way to say something. Caused her discomfort. I tried not to push. She was worried you'd think less of her. Or be angry with her.
When?
What do you mean, when?
When I found out?
Just in general, I think. I think she feels responsible that you're here.
She is.
I think she's worried you'll hate her for her choices. Hate her for not preparing you better.
I don't hate her.
That's what I said as well.
But I don't like her.
I left that part out.
You don't know that part.
She said that essentially if she had had a choice, she would not have sent someone she didn't like out on this journey with as little information as she gave you. And the fact that she had to do the same to her own granddaughter. I'm familiar with that kind of pain.
Did the contract say anything about telling me stories to encourage me to leave?
I don't know.
Well,
My impression was that the way she has behaved this contract has a lot to do with that. So I would not be surprised if that was the case.
did she say why she signed it? Or
I
agreed
don't think
to
she'd
it?
be able to.
Did you learn what you wanted to learn?
I mean, not really, but I asked about the claws in the dock. She was aware of them. They were around when she was doing the same. But she didn't really have any kind of contact with them, and they seemed to prefer it that way. And the impression she got was that they were clearing her path violently at times. And she told me to tell you. And it took a lot of effort for her to say this. As in, she was bleeding when she finished, to be clear. She said to tell you that the greatest strength is always honesty. And in a foe, you can be their greatest weakness.
I kind of wish I could throw up now.
When you shared your memories of her with me so that I could find her,
Hmm.
when you showed me the moment that you told her that you could hear the song,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the memory. I saw the moment. As it happened, not as you were remembering it. Because the difference was that when you told her, she had to be supportive and proud. And I got the impression she wasn't able to show you how much it hurt. And how scared she was. And I know that feeling too. And know it really well.
Are you your grandfather?
I was. I'm not anymore. If you want, I can contact her again at some point and bring you with me. I don't know if you'd gain much new information. But I don't think that would be the point either.
Whisper of the Wild.
All right.
If I don't do what you want,
And
do I
what
have...
is the question?
The question is, if I don't do what you want, does that same contract apply to me?
And this is going to be that moment where the binary nature of the question causes awkward moments for future Alexandri, because the answer she gets back is no.
Oof.
All she says out loud is, why? Which I don't think is consistent with anything that you've been saying. It's not a, that doesn't fit. That's what she says.
You're muted, Sam.
I'm not. That's
Okay. Yeah, no, didn't hear what you said. Go try again.
I'm assuming that wasn't directed at me.
Or me.
No.
Spider is too busy Robin wrestling to have noticed the question, noticed the commentary. Get out of my breakfast, and you too. And you.
I've been
Spider's
gone.
Spider's
I've
not
been
there.
gone.
Spider
for
went
this
on a
conversation.
walk.
Yeah, that's right. You buggered off. I forgot about that. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
I got business to attend to.
Mm-hmm. Business.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. Never forgotten about that.
What about you, Kazra? Are you a grandmother?
Not that I'm aware of, no. There are a whole number of things that would have had to have taken place for that to be the case. I nowhere near that complicated. Sorry.
Do you have a grandmother?
Somewhere. Yeah. I think so.
Do you like her?
Never met her.
Why not?
guess I'm not from around here.
Oh.
My parents brought me here when I was little.
Oh.
Yeah. It's okay.
Well.
As grandmas go, though, I think they could give you a lot worse advice than honesty's the way to go. I'm pretty good at telling the truth.
Hmm. Not deliberately.
No.
Just not good at telling lies. And I don't see why I should.
It's perspective. Kind of mean the same thing, don't they?
I mean, I wouldn't say that you do need to be good at lies.
Oh, it helps if you're in court.
This doesn't look much like a court to me.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like the court's problem.
I was, yes.
I didn't catch that.
I was, yes. The court's problem. I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk to her.
I wasn't saying you need to. I was just letting you know the option is there. I also didn't tell her about... I didn't go into a lot of detail about the current situation. Didn't feel like it was my place to tell her.
The current situation?
With Lucas and Chevalier.
Well, if she's had any of my letters, then she knows.
Oh yeah, no.
None of them.
When I mentioned that there had been letters and she realized that she hadn't got them, she immediately had an idea about who to blame for that, and I immediately got the impression that there was no one I would rather not be.
Who?
I did not say. And I did not feel comfortable asking. In that I did not feel comfortable.
Well, they're probably dead now anyway.
Oh, I don't think they were going to die.
They hope so.
Yeah, that was more the impression, yeah. She was highly amused and confused and a lot of emotion to discover that you were traveling with Edgewaters.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly amused in the end, but that was the tip about the letters, when that was news to her. But yeah, I didn't feel like, particularly Chevalier, that wasn't my news to break.
I don't know whether to go back to bed or to go for a walk.
Just difficult to explain to begin with.
Kasra, do you have any wishes?
Do I have wishes?
No, Kazra.
Oh.
I know what you wish. I think.
I think I'm always wishing that that I'll get to see the next day and that there's something cool waiting for me there. I'm really more of a present thinker, Alexandria.
Oh.
Thinking too far ahead is kind of a recipe for bad luck.
Oh no. I mean, if you were wishing that, now you're with us. That's the...
I think whatever happens from here on out, it certainly won't be boring. Not with you guys around.
Spider thinks La Chanson grants wishes. So if that's the wish that you wanted, thanks. Because
I don't know if that's how I'd phrase it, but I mean, I'm not the one hearing it, so you know.
The thing I heard was definitely not about to grant me any wishes, so.
what did you think it would do?
Thought it'd probably try to kill me if I can't listen to it for too long. Or at least make it so I'd never hear quiet ever again. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that.
It is hard to think. Thank you. I don't know what to do next.
Well,
Shagals will be back
Oh,
in the
no.
city 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I've arranged to try and find out.
What if the prophecy changes and all of a sudden, like, they just need to kill me now?
I feel like
I see.
prophecies don't make a habit of changing suddenly. They're kind of like a long-term thing.
We hope so, but...
I think this group has a vested interest in you making it to where the song is. I don't know why, and I don't know why they're so motivated that they would kill people over it. But fanatical belief can do that kind of thing to a person.
So what if I said I wasn't going to do it?
I don't think they have a lot of interest interacting with you directly.
Unless I'm not doing what their prophecy wants. And then they'll be very interested in making sure that it happens.
Either way,
Grandma, sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say that I probably wouldn't share that with them. I just work here. I don't know. But if you're not planning on doing whatever it is they want you to do, probably don't tell them right up front.
My grandmother just said to be honest.
I didn't say lie. You don't seem too sure about it yourself. Maybe just don't make a decision.
The impression I've gotten from both talking with Shagalza and with your grandma is that they seem like they're less about making you do something as much as making it as easy as possible for you to get to where you are, you go to make that choice. They don't appear to have, and I'm saying this with very little information, but from what I've heard, they don't appear to have a vested interest in making with you making a certain choice, so much as making sure you get to where you can make the choice. Like when it was your grandma, they didn't even interact. The only reason we're interacting with now is because I kind of forced the issue. They avoided her previously, and her group. And they would just come across their handiwork, I guess, removing apparent obstacles. I don't think you have something to worry about from them in terms of direct threat.
Okay. Okay. Alexandria goes and orders another drink.
Okay.
Because the bird
It's
seems
8
to be
a.m.
comfortable. Just drunk is apparently the better option right now. Let's do that. We have a couple of days before the cats get there. So like that's a couple of days of not thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure.
and if Jennifer's all the way in the Deliverance, then no need to worry about it.
Someone mentioned that doesn't matter. Who was
That's
it?
like a
Yeah,
couple of
someone
months. That's like a
did
couple of
say
months
that.
of travel. Like there's no need to worry about it.
Was it
So
that
Unless you
mentioned
can
the teleport?
teleport.
so Alexandria's
Yeah.
gonna go order a couple more drinks and just like get comfortable.
Okay then.
I think
So I think. Go ahead.
when you go up to the bar, Meisel sort of follows. And he just says, I'm not going to say not to do this.
Good.
In terms of solutions, it's definitely one of them, and it's one that I have in the past used.
Then you understand. That's good. Thank you.
I will, however, point out that when I did that,
Mhm.
my learning was it's not a solution. It's a holding pattern. It just stalls things.
I hear sentient music all day, every day.
I'm a dragon and I age backwards. I'm over 1,500 years old.
I'm not.
And I'm 12.
I'm not trying to beat you. I'm just saying I don't want to think for a
I'm
bit.
saying I get it. But I also, and I'm not saying not to do it right now. If that is what you think is best, go for it. You deserve to not have to worry about all the things you have going on. But if at some point you want to try other solutions, I am here and I will help. We can try and get more. And like I said back in Dusseldorf, you said you didn't want to go because you didn't know why you were being told, and I said just don't go. And I realized we had to then leave, so kind of stymied my point. You're being asked to go somewhere, but you're not giving a lot of information about why. And there are multiple people who seem to have a very vested interest in you, who seem to know more about the situation than you. won't be easy. It probably won't be fun or when you want to try and find out more, I will help. I will do what I can. But like I said, you deserve also to not have to worry about it for a time. And if that is what you want to do as well, I support that as well.
Good. She switches from beer to shots.
And
Because it's
we're going to
faster.
cut scene over to Spider, who's out on business.
Yeah, I know we have to wrap up pretty soon. But Spider wants to go and visit the person that the twins mentioned who could craft some magical apparel on his behalf.
Yeah. So back left-hand corner of the merchant square is a troll booth, which is to say in case I was not clear, by the way, when the twins were talking that the trolls were notable in their magic crafting, they were talking about a specific, because there's only one tribe of trolls up here on the plains, all right? And so, for lack of a better way of putting it, their embassy, and that's the wrong term because they just have a merchant booth.
Nice.
And so they've just got this permanent spot that they're at the market every day. There's this one particular chap who speaks the local trade language well enough that he can basically sort out what the locals want. And he knows humans, he knows the Confederacy and its ways well enough to be able to make sure that nobody's getting swindled. And so, yeah, they maintain a trade booth. So he's about 7 foot. 2.25 meters, right? Kind of gangly, but it's belies the amount of actual muscle that's on this fellow. It's because he's so long in all his proportions, he doesn't look that, but then you start realizing that when you've got levers that long, there's an awful lot of pull on anything he decides to grab. He's got a very sort of, it's almost, the accent is, I guess the best way of putting it is that the Confederate trade language is at best a third language. Right. And so he speaks almost in a Treebeardish kind of very slow, measured, careful enunciation of everything, because he's obviously working through a different language to get to Confederate trade. So what is it you're asking him for?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously I introduced myself as an associate of Ryan and Gale's. Unless I get the feeling, like, would they have said whether this person deals with Bruxa directly, or?
Oh, no. He basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, they'll just give you a little trinket, as it were. Just wave this under his nose. Let him keep it. That he knows that we sent you that way.
Yeah, right.
He'll be easy to deal with.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, so what Spider is looking for is probably highly illegal and requires a fair amount of expertise to craft, which is, and I know that it's it's the oldest fantasy trope, but I can't think of a better object for it to be, but a ring that will turn me invisible when I put it on, which would be invisibility persistent. It depends, because I was a little bit confused by something you said at the end of last session, which was that we'd be acting up a wealth level with a week's notice. Does that mean wealth level 6 or 5, which is what we've just reached by being level 5?
So up until you folks had essentially made the arrangements, I'm trying to come up with a... Because you made the trade arrangement with Bruxa, and managed to shortcut your father's interference by staying ahead of him, you are in fact now at the wealth level you should be for your level.
Right. So we are wealth level 5.
Right. Yeah. If you get Gale and Rain involved on a week's notice, you can temporarily get a +1 to that.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a week's notice, but then crafting at wealth level 6 suddenly takes a week per wealth level, so we're looking at like 6 weeks instead of 20 days, which is a long time, and I don't think it's...
On the other hand, if you can't literally, depending on whatever the object cost is, if you can't afford it any other way, that's what it costs, right?
Yeah, well, so the option, so invisibility comes at power level 5 and 6. 6 is obviously incredible, like it's much more powerful, but for an extra wealth level, I don't think it's worth 3 weeks of time, basically.
All right, there you go.
Because I want to have the item before we go to the plains.
Not
before we go see my grandfather's airship, which I think we'll do sooner than that. But I'm thinking we'll come back in between before going to the volcano.
So I've just posted the name of the troll in chat.
Oh yeah,
it's Gragdel.
Yeah, this guy seems cool. So this is so that's what Spider's after, is a wealth level 5, so which means power level 5 persistent. And Ring just seems like the easiest thing to be able to get on and off very quickly.
And he's going to peer at you. And there's this very long pause where he's just very clearly staring at you. No ear piercings. Not ear ring, finger ring.
I need to be able to take it on and off very quickly.
He nods. No nose ring. Finger ring. Got it.
Finger ring. But this guy seems really cool. And so I think Spider, if this guy has some time, Spider wants to make an attempt to sort of befriend him. And also perhaps start learning some of the basics of his language, rather than just having to converse in trade, because that's something Spider is good at picking up the basics of languages. That was something from like my very, very old D&D character sheet, which I haven't really carried over except in terms of learning roles. Well, is it learning? Yeah, learning, not logic.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know if or what kind of role.
No role is required because.
Sorry, I was just going to say that trying to just get the gist of a language you don't speak is logic.
Is logic, right?
Yeah, but that is essentially, quote, under combat conditions. I mean, if you're trying to, while the stone zombies are closing in on the group, and you're sitting there reading the stone tablet, trying to figure out how to turn the bloody things off, that's make a roll. Yeah. Under these conditions, it's go buy some tequila and hang out for a while.
Yeah.
No role required.
Well, well, that's the thing. Is like I don't know if I need any sort of.
Well, like I say,
it's not like a general charisma kind of thing, is there?
No, I'm just going to say. First off, so the best way of explaining, like I say, he's got this very, very ponderous, very slow, deliberate, and a certain amount of it, I think, is because as you're he's actually working on something while he's talking to you. And so there's these moments where he'll be fiddling with something, And then he'll pause, and he just very slowly turns and looks at you. He chats with you for a moment and slowly goes back to what he's doing. But you realize that basically he's bending copper wire as thick as your finger,
Yeah.
and
right.
he's knitting it.
Jesus. Yeah. Cool.
So it occurs to you the reason he's very slow and deliberate is because when you have that much muscle mass and leverage, you could bloody well knock someone's head off by accident. And this is a very crowded market. Right?
It pays to be deliberate and discerning.
Yes. The other thing you get used to is the fact that he has 3 eyes.
Oh, cool.
They're roughly organized in a triangle. And the one that's further up on the forehead is never looking at where the 2 he's got is.
Right.
What he's doing.
Does that seem like, is that normal for trolls that we've seen in the city, that they have extra eyes?
I was just going to say, well, at that, now I'm going to ask you for a learning roll, because I've mentioned in passing some odd-looking folks going by, but you've never really pinned them as trolls before. This is the first time where you've been told, go here, look at them, right?
Yeah, there was definitely like one in the market, I remember, but okay, 21 plus 1, 22.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now that you know what it is you're looking for, as it were, yes, you've seen 2 or 3 of them around before. That's actually the other thing. Like, this is the current troll population of the market, the fellow you're talking to.
Yeah. They're few and far between in the city.
Yeah, you've seen 1 or 2. I don't think you've seen 3. I don't think you've seen 3 in the city at the same time. Let's do it that way, let alone 2 in the same place. But no, they're all a triclops. And for the lower 2 eyes are whatever his hands are doing, and the 3rd eye is looking around.
It's a very useful trait to have, but I didn't think Spider would say anything about it, because that would seem insensitive.
The best way of describing facial features are chiseled mushroom. They're kind of the trollkin are best described as stone golems made out of mushroom. It's the closest way I can get to the texture and the shape and just the dimorphism, and just it's like I said, they're very odd looking folks. You do notice that he's very politely, or tolerantly is probably a more, he gets a lot of looks. People going by are, wow, it's a troll. It's just constant, right? And he's either bad of hearing or intentionally bad of hearing.
Yeah. And whilst I don't think Spider had met a troll or anything before this, because they don't come down off the plains as far as I'm aware.
So the official word from the Confederacy is there are trolls down were in Confederate territories. They've been wiped out. They're ravenous monsters which poison entire neighborhoods, convert them to swamps, and slaughter children in their sleep. That is the official Confederacy line. Trolls are to be burned as fast as you find them.
Yeah,
because
if you find Confederacy bullshit.
Yeah. Orcs, likewise, you've seen orcs around here. The chef's crew over at the clock are all orcs. The cuisine is orcan, is orckin. Officially you can't trust an orc as far, like I say, if you have an orc in your town in the Confederacy, it's because you're being invaded. That's the official Confederate line. They are savages, the lot. And the nicest thing you can say about them is that they're a lousy shot, which means you get to shoot first.
Man, you wonder why Spider wants to overthrow this Confederacy. Anyway.
And it's like everything else.
Just the kind of person that Spider's very keen to get and does get along with, because
it's one of those things where, like most mythology or most propaganda, it probably has a root in truth that is as much part misunderstanding as it is reality. It's just that, like everything else the Confederacy does, the Confederacy is very poor at admitting its mistakes. So, you know, and they're not infallible. I mean, that's at the end of the day, the Confederacy is far from infallible. You know, they're efficient, but not infallible. So, but yeah, I don't think you've ever met a troll before.
No,
they just
yeah,
wouldn't
I
be
would highly
around.
doubt
They
it.
wouldn't be anywhere that you've been. You know.
Yeah, but Spiderhead is good at getting to know outcasts, or
Yes.
that's the wrong word. What's the word I'm looking for? Just less.
The disenfranchised.
There you go. Disenfranchised is a good word for it. And so I think, yeah, that's like of interest to him, is to get to know this person and their culture.
So he, like I say, that I think the biggest single issue that will be obvious, if you will, is that while he's very aware of everything that's going on around him, like I say, is he's constantly looking around while he's working. Every time he focuses on you to talk to you, he literally, everything grinds to a halt. He focuses completely on you, answers your question, and it takes him a few seconds to come up with the words and build a sentence and print it out, as it were. And then he just goes slowly back to what he's doing, and, you know, etc. So it's not scintillating discourse, but he is being very polite.
Yeah, and look,
he'll answer questions, he'll chit chat, or what passes for it. But it's like, it's like I say, it's got that very sense of chatting with Treebeard, right?
Yeah. And Spider certainly doesn't want to be annoying. So, like, if he's getting in the way of the work, he'll stop. But he's just asking genuine questions and getting to know this guy and his work. And
well, I think. You know, Freebie on the Silver Tongue, essentially the reason he's here is because he's literally the ambassador. He is the one who is most tolerant. And so he's here because people like you don't bother him at all.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I think Spider spends a decent portion of the day just hanging out with this guy and
all right, and I think
eventually makes his request, obviously, as we
exactly. And he'll like I say, there'll be a little bit of sorting out about what you mean by ring, and like literally he's trying to figure out, okay, ring, so finger ring, ear ring, nose ring, toe ring. Oh, it has to come off quickly. Finger ring, got it. Okay, we can do that. Yeah. Just the fact that these are options sort of says something about the rest of his clients by definition.
Certainly. That's all I got for Spider at the moment. So.
All right, that's cool. So I think we'll wrap it up there, folks, because we are a little bit over schedule, and I know Danny has got stuff she needs to get back to. So we'll wrap there. I hope you all had fun, and a little bit of a quieter session this evening. In terms of no horrid cliffhanger to leave dripping tension splatter all over the table with this evening. It's just going to be a closed.
Imagery.
Just going to be a quiet closing shot of Spider hanging out, chatting magic making with a troll.
And a mild split scene of just Alexandrine knocking him back.
Practically a beach episode.
Yeah, right. It's just a beach episode. This is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it started with an unhinged mad woman, so.
That's how.
You could argue
That's
it's
not a nice way to talk about Alexandre's grandma.
Isn't it, though?
Never said inaccurate. I said not nice.
Fair. Very fair.
Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much. That was fun. You were all very much appreciated. So, yeah, I guess to the gang out there in the audience, VOD, etc., thank you so much. I hope you're having fun. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.